Hello, jazz aficionados, lovers of the craft we like to call modern music. That's what Charlie Parker liked to call it. Hello, I'm back and I'm posting a YouTube video. This is really in response to a video that I commented on, and I made a statement on that video that I felt like needed to be addressed. And many times I'll make a comment on a video that I see, especially as it relates to music education. And I made a statement concerning a new artist, relatively new, that's out, and his name is Jacob Collier. He became a YouTube sensation, and he is a jazz musician, jazz singer, music theorist, composer, arranger, and I stumbled upon Jacob Collier by accident. And the more I've listened and watched, I know and believe, let's just say I believe, I don't know for certainty, but I believe that Jacob Collier is the Mozart of our generation. I believe his perception about music is light years ahead of most of us. Let's just be honest. And so I put together a list of why I believe he's the Mozart of our generation. Okay, here we go. This is number one. He's a child prodigy. Mozart was a child prodigy as well. If you listen to any of the interviews, he speak on using computer software such as Logic at age 7. And many of us cannot say that we used computer software in playing piano at that age at 7 years old. Also, he talks about his mother, who's a professional violinist, and then also teacher, introducing him to various styles of music and just being exposed to all those things at an early age. Showed an extreme proclivity towards music. Okay, so number one, he was a child prodigy. The information is certain. Yes, he was a child prodigy. Number two, Mozart mastered multiple instruments. Mozart, of course, he sang. Mozart played the violin. Mozart played the piano. He totally mastered those instruments. Jacob Collier, in any one of the instruments that he plays, whether it's drums, string bass, electric bass guitar, ukulele, all of those different instruments, Jacob Collier has mastered, and really could be a performing on any one of those instruments. If he never sang a note and he just focused in on his electric bass playing, he could be a performer and top of the line, hands down. Number three, brilliant musical mind. There's a video, I believe his name is June Lee. He's a YouTube sensation as well. And he specializes in the music of Jacob Collier. Brilliant musical mind. I ask you to go to a YouTube video entitled Imagination Off the Charts. And it talks about Jacob Collier's time at the MIT. If you don't know what MIT is, you can just Google MIT and you'll come in contact with what that is. Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I hope it's Massachusetts. I hope it's not Michigan. I believe it's Massachusetts. Real famous science school. So these people they're kind of smart. So anyway, it's Jacob Collier at MIT, and one thing I like about that video is that you have a first-rate composer talking about the genius of Jacob Collier, and he goes into details of how that is. Number four, just like Mozart, his parents trained him, uh, you know, putting resources before him. So that's number four. I'm not going to go into big extreme detail about that, but that's documented. Number five, Mozart reflected the current trends in music, the pop music. So he took the trends from pop music and made his own music with it. Jacob Collier is a huge Stevie Wonder fan, and he totally mastered the music of Stevie Wonder. And Mozart mastered the music of Bach. He knew Bach. He knew the music of the day, you know. So, you know, the things that Jacob Collier is doing as far as, you know, performing live as a one-man show. And a lot of people think it's gimmick. I don't believe it's gimmick. I think it's an extension of his genius that it's a part of him wanting to create an original ideal. So Mozart reflected the current trends in music and then also took those trends and added to it. Like Mozart was a master of writing the opera, you know, the magic flute and whatnot. And, you know, the current thing that's going now is being able to overdub. So obviously he's mastered that. All right, let me turn this sheet over to the list here. Number seven, respected by top musicians of his day. Mozart was respected, highly respected and acclaimed. And guess what? Jacob Collier is highly respected and acclaimed by musicians of his day, like Herbie Hancock, Quincy Jones, any musician that is a respected musician, they will see that this is next level genius. This is different than just being a good musician. This is why I say that Jacob Collier is the Mozart of our generation, and I'm not saying that lightly. I'm not just calling anyone a genius. You know, in our society, we tend to use that word too much, calling people a genius when, you know, I've been called a genius and I'm not. I'm not. I'm just a good musician. You know, some people would question even that, but, you know, I'm just a good musician who can hear and play some things, but I'm not a genius. Jacob Collier is a genius, just genius, hands down. He's innovative. He. For example, there's a YouTube video out. Now I use YouTube a lot in my teaching. There's a YouTube video out that says something like G and a half, in the key of G and a half, and that YouTube video. I'm sorry, I can't remember the gentleman who came up with that video. But that video was an eye-opener and very scholarly. So I'm just putting it out there. Jacob Collier has given the jazz industry a new push. He's given the jazz industry a reinvigoration that hasn't been present in a long time. And it's gained a new excitement to the genre. I give Jacob Collier much respect. You don't see that many jazz musicians playing with him besides Herbie Hancock. That's one thing I wish he would do more, is collaborate with more jazz musicians. I appreciate you watching this video. If you want to talk about this topic, you can you know, put something on the comments. You can keep your comments positive, you know, but if you have a negative criticism, I understand. But as a whole, let's keep our comments positive. And I want you to have a good day wherever you are in the world. All right. See y'all later. Bye.